What's up, what's up, what's up, you beautiful and sexy you? You are tuned in to Get What You Want with host Jessica Brothers. Sharing these secrets to feeling powerful, healthy, and ageless so you can stop that cycle you're in and break free to live the incredible quality of life you deserve. Welcome to the Get What You Want podcast, the Hack Your Health series with host Jessica Brothers and Dr. Michelle Lynn.
Hi, everyone. Just a quick disclaimer. This is for education purposes only. This is not a medical advice, so please see your doctor before you implement anything that we talk about.
Thank you. Enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome with your host, Jessica Brothers, and the wonderful, beautiful Dr. Michelle Lynn today. Welcome, my dear.
Hello. Good to see everyone.
Yes. We are separate, maybe physically today, but never at heart and never in spirit, right?
Right.
So I'm really excited to talk about women's affairs today. This is something that I know so many women will be able to not only take some nuggets away from today, but feel seen, feel heard, and feel blessed to come across this episode. I know that I'm going to be speaking from experience on a lot of stuff, and I'm happy to share my stories from a place of understanding with a lot of, I guess, ways to come out of challenges and situations that a lot of us women face. And I feel I can do that because I've healed. And so I'm really happy to share that. And I'm happy that you're joining us today, Michelle.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. So let's talk about what kind of challenges as women, okay, as women, especially both of us, we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. What do you feel are like the biggest challenges that women face just in that world alone?
Geez, as entrepreneurs and being women, it's challenging in that we have some expectations, societal expectations as far as who we should be and what we should be accomplishing. And, we have maternal roles that we go into, and then we have relationship roles. So being an entrepreneur gives us a male, kind of like a male dominant type personality that, society would say is more male, right? So now we come across, interactions that can be very challenging for people in society and seeing how women do things. And, that's where we get these negative labels. And so, things like that is it's like baseline. This is like where we start at. They're not hard to overcome. It's just that we have to set them aside to overcome them.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up that kind of male dominant side because that would be the masculine energy compared to like the feminine energy. And for me, I completely agree. I've realized, especially as of recently, how much I've been mostly almost permanently without even realizing in that masculine energy. Because for a couple of reasons. A, because I've really been an entrepreneur since I was, 12 years old. And B, for protection. Because for me, being in that feminine energy, I didn't feel safe because of reasons of abuse and all of that. So I kind of shut that side off of me and just stayed in my masculine energy for those reasons. So yeah, we do get kind of that disconnection to that feminine energy. And then I realized that actually relating to other women who are mainly in their feminine energy or being in the circles of the feminine energy has caused a lot of challenges as well. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. Even between women, there's challenges, as far as, it could be jealousy, it could be disapproval, it could be, multiple things, that's not going on with the entrepreneur, but that's going on with the other individual. And so, and having those energies I don't know about you, but I have a hard time relating to, some women. And it's not the housewife, with multiple kids. Like, they have a full-time job. They're working just as hard or harder than I am. It's really people that live a life that is more in the feminine energy, but that seems to be surrounded by a lot of jealousy and low accomplishment, and maybe some self-esteem issues. That's where I see interactions between females that are challenging.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree, because being in that male energy, that is definitely my more business sense. When I'm in business, I'm in that male energy. I'm in that focus. I'm in that task orientation. I'm in that goal orientation. I'm in that fast decision making. Where my
Right.
feminine energy, I'm more playful. I'm soft. I love to dance. It's just completely different, right? And so I agree. When I'm in that masculine energy, women who maybe don't explore their masculine energy so much, there is that separation. They can feel that. And I too agree that yes, thank you for saying that, for those watching or listening, that when people are jealous or insecure or judgmental or want to put others down, it has nothing to do with the person or the subject, the person of the subject that they're directing it towards. It has everything to do with the person who's speaking about it. And that's the first realization. So I love that you brought that up. That really has everything to do with the person who's speaking about it, because it's something that they judge themselves on, or you remind them of the lack that they have in themselves, or the insecurities of themselves. And that's really what it's about. And I know once I realized that, it gave me a whole new perspective on owning more about who I am and being more empowered about who I am as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important to know too. Sorry if you hear.
No, you're great.
So it's important to know that, we are, because we are women, even though we have this very strong masculine side to us being entrepreneurs, we are actually still way more sensitive to, say, like application. Like, we are very sensitive to being truthful and to not overrepresent ourselves. Whereas our counterpart, our males in society, I think there's a study out there saying that if they look at a job listing, if they could do 2 or 3 things on that list, they're applying. Whereas we, as women, we look at that list and we can't do 50% of it, we will not apply. And so that feminine energy is still very much within us. And it's to be able to harness that, to be great employers, to be great with interactions, but we could still use a little more of that masculine to be aggressive and to build our ego so that we are more competitive.
Yes, I think that's what makes women better leaders. I'm just gonna say that because we have that nice harmony dance, as the masculine and the feminine energies, being able to lead and take control and make those choices, but at the same time having that heart and connecting and that relationship. I like that. To me, is really, really important in leadership, where especially in today's day, whereas the old leadership was do what I say, this is how it is, you work for me. Now it's more relational. It's more, what are your goals? What is your connection? How can we connect? And I can empower you to be better, and have you achieve your goals through my vision as well. And that's where I believe that nowadays women are much better leaders in that sense.
Yeah, and it's so funny because when we get taught in medical school, we are taught to not be paternalistic, meaning that we're not saying you need to do this, you have to do that. So we embrace autonomy, so individualism, and we cooperate. So it's not a you have to. It's, hey, here are the choices. What sounds best for your lifestyle? What sounds best for your philosophy, for yourself? And that applies in business too. Like your employees, they're not things, they're people. So what I've discovered is that my philosophy, helps people feel part of a bigger purpose. And it's really about nurturing. It's about giving them this partnership and saying, hey, you didn't do well here. What's going on? Something going on in your life. Or, is this just not your niche? What do you love doing? Can we put you in a place that you are at your best? And, using that with people, whether it's partnership, it could be employee-employer relationships. It could be consulting relationships. It's my relationship with you. So, having that sensitivity is so important to be able to harness a lot more success and surround yourself with people that are all about promoting you because they feel purposeful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And, outside of being a businesswoman or owner and entrepreneur, us women, and I'm sure everyone can speak on issues and challenges. We all have them, of course, as all part of life, but we're experts on women because we are them and we've gone through a lot of challenges. What would you say are like the top challenges for women today?
Oh, you know what? We have so much to contend with, and they all kind of add up to this unfriendly snowball. So, one of my biggest things that I really struggled with was, my own body. I had a lot of hormonal issues because I was on birth control. And then even before birth control, I've had horrible, horrible periods where, I was sick for a week. Like imagine trying to run a business or go to medical school or be, there's my dog, or be, just high performing and be sick for a week, a month. So that is my own challenges in myself. And then when I got on birth control, all my hormones went down. I was not a right person anymore. I had trouble with thinking. I had trouble with mood. I had trouble with my physical body. And so that leads to just, not being able to be 100%. So, outside of that, I think the other big challenge that I have is with other male professionals. It's very hard for them to take direction from a female sometimes. And, I really try to enter my feminine at that point and come to them and show them that, as someone superior than them, I'm not here to challenge you. I'm here to serve you to be your best. And I don't feel that is derogatory towards me. I feel that is a power. So if I could be of service for you to be your best and perform your best in this organization, that serves a greater purpose. And so I want to say those are my two biggest challenges. And when I talk to other women, we seem to have common ground with, our bodies, the way society has made hormonal suppression birth control, like a common thing, which, we could talk about that at another visit. But yeah, those two things are some of the big ones.
Yeah, I agree. I think the body issues, 'cause I can completely relate. Same, a week, a month. Yes, trying to be a high performer and being down, being trying to, having to show up as your 100% when is tough when you're so consumed by pain and mood issues and hormonal issues. I can completely relate. And I know a lot of women can, because especially today, probably more so than ever, women have hormonal issues because of our environment, the food we eat, the products we put on our skin. It's really impact our hormone production and balance or harmony inside our body. It throws our body off, and more women are experiencing that. And if you already have body image issues, the hormones and all of that just kind of magnify that. And I believe that society puts a lot of pressure on that. It's a lot less maybe today, because you see magazines where they're more accepting of all body images. Whereas, you and I growing up, it wasn't like that. It really wasn't like that. You had to look a certain way. And for me, that was tough, because especially being, in the fitness industry, I thought I always had to look a certain way. And any imperfection in my body is like, oh boy, how am I a fitness professional when I have this imperfection, this imperfection? And it really dictated a lot about my confidence and the choices I made and the way I held myself, until I realized that, what, like, I need to own myself. I need to show up, and that, there is no such thing as perfect.
Right.
And anything that I saw was probably way magnified over what anyone else saw anyways. So I definitely relate to that. And I love that you bring into that whole, more women coming into leadership, and the fact that men could use some more feminine energy and creating relationships, and realizing that, working with us instead of against us, and having that ego, that male ego, not work, with us is actually detrimental to the whole environment as a whole. So I love that you bring that up for sure. Yes. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I want to speak to the body image issue because
Yes.
there's a lot, we have the Kardashians and we have all these influencers that have a look, right? And I gotta say, what you do to enhance your features, whether it's, you're working out, you're working hard to get the look that you want in your body, or, you're going to, doing injectables, or, paying for cosmetic type procedures. Like, all of that is okay in the proper context. In the entrepreneurial space, we do try to, enhance how we look, thinking that it's going to make us better somehow. And I could say that there's people that do overdo it. And there's a lot of people that, I hope can recognize that it's not necessary. Relationships are created by how you interact with people, and then how you make people feel. So you don't have to have a look in order to be successful as a woman. You don't have to be sexy to attract business. If you want to be sexy for you. You don't have to be sexy for your man, because I could tell you, from experience in the aesthetics field, most men are like, "You're fine. What are you doing?"
So true. It's so true.
Do it for you.
Yes.
Don't do it for advancement in any way. Definitely, what you do, you want to make it so that you look bright, alert, awake, happy, healthy. And that is really what gives you the really good body image.
Yes, and I love that, doing it for you. That is 100% important. and it comes through differently. I had this conversation just a couple days ago with a male, and we were taking pictures together on an event, and he wrote me, he goes, wow, these pictures make me realize I have to get a haircut. I'm like, yeah, me too. My hair is never this long on the side. Like, it's been almost a month. Like, Michelle, like, this is usually clean shaven. However, I've been so booked lately that I haven't even booked myself my barber. And I said to him, I said, I work every single day on my insides, my internal, because I know that our internal is really what shines through. However, I do take pride in my external because for me, it helps me as a whole just bring everything in. I like dressing nice. I like wearing heels. I like being clean cut. I like being physically fit because it makes me feel, and this is me, this may not be everyone, it makes me feel even more powerful that I'm balanced inside and externally, internally and externally. However, I want to promote to everyone that internal is always first, because I can talk to a male or a woman who's highly attractive visually and start talking to them. And if their internal is not developed, I cannot continue a conversation with them. That is the truth. And that will start shining through. And what I saw visually starts dissipating, and the inside starts shining on the outside. So one, I want to talk about that. And that internal development really needs to be for you. What makes you happy? What makes you shine? What fills your heart? What makes you feel loved? So then you can pour that out to everyone. And then the external, you can go to Dr. Michelle for, because she's got incredible med spa. And let me tell you, the holistic ways that she is helping people improve. And I want to say holistic because that is huge. Is absolutely fantastic. It's just mind blowing that I didn't realize the options out there, and you're bringing that to light. And I just think it's phenomenal. And on the opposite of that, I could talk to people that I'm not saying are not visually appealing. I'm just saying could just look like everyday people. And when I talk to them, their intelligence, their love, their heart, their passion starts shining through. And then I see a very bright uniqueness about them. And that I just want to, again, speak to, because the internal for me, and I think most people would agree, that is what really shines through after a while.
Yeah, I tell people, I just sponsored a Zumba event, and my message to them was, when you're out here dancing like you can't get enough, you are doing more than 50% of what I could do for you, whether it's medication, whether it's aesthetics, like that, the hormones, the chemicals that are flowing your brain, that glow in your skin and that brightness in your eyes comes from inside. It comes from being happy. It comes from moving. It comes from community. It comes from, good feelings. And, I just can't give you that. No doctor, no esthetician can give you that. You have to give that to yourself. And that's what people see as beauty, actually.
Yes.
It's really not about whether your skin is wrinkly or if you're overweight. There are plenty of people that are considered overweight in this society that are perfectly healthy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you were telling people that Zumba, that you're doing more than 50% of what I can do for you. Yeah, that movement, that excitement, that love, that internal fulfillment really is absolutely huge. Let's just touch on a few other challenges that a lot of women go through, however, are not talked about as much. Because I feel, and this is my real hope that I'm feeling this correctly, that we're coming into a new generation that is not accepting this because the older generation above us was accepting this. And that's about, staying in relationships that you're unhappy in, staying in relationships that diminish you or depress you or make you feel less than, or are abusive, and not just physically, but mentally, verbally, financially, holding things over their head, telling them they have a very specific role and that's all they can do. I believe that's a generation above us, and now the generation below us. Do you feel that's shifting? What do you think about that?
So I recently learned how prevalent this was, and I didn't delve into any literature. I know as far as literature goes, child sexual abuse is very high. It's 60%. And so you have that base to start with. That's a very frightening number, and it's both male and female. Then it leads into relationships, right? So relationships, I want to say, with the people around me, we are 1 degree away from someone that has been in an abusive relationship. There can be physical abuse or verbal or mental abuse. And it's becoming less and less acceptable because we're talking about it more. So, and even within people that are our generation, it's still occurring, and it occurs out of, insecurity. And it could be male or female. If you have insecurities, you want to hang on, you kind of have a chokehold on the person, not letting them, go out and do what they need to do. Like everything that they do becomes a threat to the relationship. If they dress up to go to work, oh no, it's a threat. They put on makeup to go to work, it's a threat. They have a meeting, it's a threat. And it's a huge challenge for people to get ahead. And, I've experienced as well. So I think that it's something important to talk about.
Yeah, bringing that awareness. I think I know that bringing more awareness to it and talking about it will give women more of a voice to stand up to it, to not accept it, to realize that, everyone really is deserving of everything they desire. They're deserving to be happy. They're deserving to live their dreams. They're deserving to be a part in this world however they see. And the power is in their hands. It really is. The power is 100% in our hands to do everything that we want to do. I realized no one was going to come and save me. Right. No one's going to come down and pull me out. It's up to me to find the people to surround myself with, to give me the power or take my power back, to stand up and get myself out and join communities and circles that keep me out, that lift me up, that give me resources to be who it is that I know deep down I am, and knowing that there's way more to life than what I was living, for sure.
Yeah, and it's so important to have a good friend network, family support. And sometimes people don't have family. Your friends are your family. We live in an age now where we, are not married to the fact that we have bloodlines, and we recognize that even within bloodlines there could be bad blood. I know it's kind of a pun, but having that structure is really important. So developing all these relationships that help build you up, but also seeking help. Because when you're in situations like that, especially like emotional, verbal abuse, there's no scars. Nobody can see anything, right? So, and then nobody's, trained like deeply in psychology to be like, oh, you know what, I know what's off. I see, signs of adjustment disorder or anxiety or trauma. We just are not educated in that way, or you try to hide it and you hide it really well. So seeking help is really important, and that's what finding a therapist. And thank goodness there's so many online therapists now that are available you know, going to your doctor, going to just any professional to be able to start the conversation. And you'll find that the more you talk about, the more empowered you are. And you kind of like organize your logic tree, because what's going on with abuse is so illogical. You're in love with this person says they love you, they're just trying to protect you, right? They're just trying to make sure that you are safe, you know, so all these things will come out because of their insecurities, but it's really their desire to control you, and they're not a partner with you. And so, you know, think of relationships and approach them like a contract. Like, you know, you go into a relationship with expectations, like those should be spelled out. And, you know, if there's a breach of contract anywhere, it needs to be discussed, and you have to hold your line. And that's how you prevent yourself from becoming a victim, is to just make sure that it is black and white, set in stone. You are entering my life. This is the contract you're entering into. We can make compromises, we can make adjustments, but you cannot cross these bottom lines.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love to touch on both of those. About number one, about family. That yeah, there's even abuse within family, and you know, especially nowadays. Someone said something to me which I thought was really, really beautiful, and I actually saw this on a billboard too. That where there is love, there is family. You know, love is family. And really, you're born into a family of blood, yes. However, having an extended or chosen family is really important as well, because family really are the people that you surround yourself with who support you in who you are. And if people around you are not supporting you in who you are, who are trying to diminish or take away or make you feel bad in any way for any of that, is that really love? And if it's not, and whether they're blood or not, I call it learn to love from a distance, really. Because I love how you bring up that contract, and I want to bridge right into that. Is yeah, approach every relationship like it's a contract, meaning that contract should be with yourself too. Number one, what are your boundaries? What are your boundaries that you are willing to stand up for, to make sure that you stay in alignment with what you want, what you desire, your goals? So that you have your own happiness. Make sure you know that before you start any long-term relationship. And if you're already in a long-term relationship, I suggest writing those out. What are things that make you happy? What are things that you're really okay with and not okay with? And if someone is trying to bend those, number one, communicate with them. And stand up for yourself. You know, this is who I am. This is what I accept. This is what I desire from you in a relationship. The relationship is a equal energy exchange. It's a give and take. It's not one-sided. And so the right relationships are going to support you. And communication with them, because you can't expect or you can't without standing up and communicating your boundaries. People don't always know. So number one, communication. If after you have that communication, those boundaries are pressed against and trying to be taken away, or you're felt guilty, tried to make feel guilty about it, that should be a warning signal. It really should. Wow, is this really an equal energy exchange? Is this really something that I should continue? And start thinking about loving from a distance. Do not accept. That is a hard boundary. If you really want to continue having love for yourself and continue achieving your goals and continue living a beautiful life that you deserve, do not allow to sacrifice yourself. Because if that other person is not sacrificing themselves and they're sacrificing you, think about that. Definitely think about that. Yeah. And abuse doesn't just happen physically. It's verbally, it's financially, it's mentally. It's all different ways. So be aware of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A relationship, you should be empowered. Women, we take on so many interesting roles, right? We go into work and then we're the earner, right? We're the provider. And then we come home and we want to be gentle, right? We want to be soft. And we want to, be there for our partner, whether it's like cooking for them or, giving them comfort. Being able to exchange those roles, like you want to be empowered in every single aspect of that. So when you stop being empowered, or you start feeling that what you're doing is not being appreciated, it's worth having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Completely agree. It's definitely worth having a conversation with yourself and with them, because the relationship you have with yourself is also the relationship you're going to have with other people, you're going to allow to have with other people. And again, that's why it all starts internally. Love it. What a great conversation today, Michelle. Absolutely love this. This is really beautiful. Thank you for joining us and giving all your value.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a deep topic and I'm glad we broached it. It's hard, but I'm glad we talked about it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Everyone, we hope you have a blessed, beautiful day. If you like what you hear, definitely subscribe, like, share, whatever platform you're on. We are grateful that you chose to listen all the way to the end. I'm realizing it was quite a wow. I'm looking at the time. The conversation, I didn't feel like it was that long, and it really was. So thank you. Right. So thank you all for choosing to stay with us right till the end. And hopefully now you love yourself a little more today than you did yesterday, and rock your day, own your day. Definitely love yourself more today. And until next time, we'll see you later. Adios, everyone.